I guess I'll title this like Stream of Consciousness, a confession. Um, I'm 47 years old. Up until my early 40s, um, I was kind of a jackass and didn't know it. I always viewed myself as a compassionate, thoughtful, friendly, considerate person. I supported nonprofits. I raised money for all sorts of progressive nonprofits protecting the environment, for gay and lesbian rights, for humanitarian organizations, and loved it. I want to help people. ACLU, on and on. And I would get engaged in debates on Facebook, like most people my generation. And I realized, looking back, I was kind of an asshole um, in debating people, knowing that I'm trying to fight for a better world on an issue like, say, gun regulations. Um, Pushing, I think we need more regulations. To me, it's obvious and be safer if we can minimum. We're not going to stop all the gun shootings, right? That's a non-starter, but we can make progress toward less violence, less killings, and there's things we can do. And I'd come into loggerheads of people who just no, there's too many laws already, and we'd all be safer if everyone was carrying guns, and I would get so angry. How can they be so stupid? Forgetting that they're also fighting for a better world. They just don't see it the way I do. Didn't help. A lot of times I was so stressed out with the state of affairs in this country and my own personal life. I wouldn't normally get in the mode of wanting to engage without being drunk or buzzed. So that didn't bring out the best of me. Um, and people that would see me at the club acting a fool, I had a great time. I loved it. I wouldn't trade those days. Awesome, epic nights so many times. And usually, if I wasn't the guy having the most fun, I was one of the top three. And that's where I wanted to be. Didn't care what anybody thought of me. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to dance. I'm going to flirt. I'm going to be goofy. Great time. And that is so concerned about making money. I'm just not materialistic. Um, don't need the fancy car. Don't need the car for that matter. Don't need a fancy house. Don't need the wife and kids. So I wasn't the most motivated to apply my talents. And I'm sharing this because I hope you don't make the same mistake. But you'll find that at a point in your life when you want to have your voice in the world, people don't take you seriously because you've been screwing around too long. You don't have the money. People don't see me as a leader. Or saw me at the club, know what was in my heart, or know my talent, my wisdom, and my intelligence. So they're not going to listen to me, and I couldn't get my voice in the world. 2016, to me, it was a crucial election, and one of two things. No one else sees what I see, that the establishment, both parties, don't care about the people, or they're not speaking up. So this brought me out of I didn't want to have my face out there, my name out there, because I know what's in my heart is revolution, that kind of love. And I see what happens to those people that speak up. Um, but damn it, I had to go. I got to a point where it was just broken. So pissed off that to the point a lot of people would want to maybe commit suicide, except I don't have that. I like the struggle. And it wasn't about my personal life. It was just watching all the nonsense of this world, and no one's speaking up. When are we going to get this right? My whole life watching the world fall apart. And the guys, when are we going to wake up? So, Doug, they're not waking up. You have to go. And that was a moment of an epiphany where the last of my evolution was gone. That connection back with God or the universe that put me on this earth. Doug, you know what you're here for. Your fear was the last thing holding you back. That fear is gone. If you're ready to die, now you're ready to fight like hell, because that's the warrior's way. Now, I'm not violent by any stretch of the imagination, but I have that warrior mindset. I'm going to speak my mind, and also that I had to leave the drugs and alcohol behind. I had a great time, but I have certain talents that are rare, and that I've had so much time on my hands that I didn't squander on TV. Stopped watching TV years ago, so I'd read. I'd constantly be in quest of new information. If you just are curious and ask Google what you want to know, the information's out there. You'll find it. So I'm coming to this earth at the right time, and that now, as I've also shifted and can now see both sides on any topic, be it the most controversial, pro-life, pro-choice. I can see both sides and help just kind of bring those sides together, because that's where it's at. We're not going to see eye to eye, but there's certainly there's got to be a common ground we can find, and I've shared my views on that topic in other videos. You'll find any issue, gun safety, conservative, liberal, progressive. I don't begrudge people who are greedy, and that's a factor of the universe. To say greed is good is, it's neither good nor bad. It's a force of the universe, but it has to be. There have to be regulations, and you can't have an economy where all the money and power is too consolidated. That will collapse. It's an unstable structure. It needs to be better diversified. You don't have to hand out things to people, but everyone needs economic opportunities so that if they work hard, they can provide for themselves and have a decent standard of living. And it's not being altruistic to say, I don't want people sleeping on the streets. That could be a selfish thing. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not a society I want to live in, whether it's because I care about them or because I don't want to see that or feel that kind of energy. It doesn't matter. It's just logical, so there's no judgment on that issue. And I think both sides can say, yeah, that's not a healthy society. So it's kind of an apology to people, and I've reached out to some of my friends through the years on Facebook that we've gotten into arguments, and I'm sure I came across arrogant. I guess I was arrogant, cocky, and yeah, it's not good. It's not fair. We all have to recognize that everyone is doing their best. Everybody is doing their best based on where they're at, what they know, what their perspective is, and to see that divinity in every other person, and you and everyone else. It's simple, and we forget it, but that's the dance of life, I guess. So, I don't want to run for political office. I don't really want to see myself as a leader other than a thought leader. I love to be a motivational speaker. I want to write books. I want to help people live healthier, happier, have better relationships, be more financially sound. And in closing, I always want to, I guess, share with you just to meditate. Meditate, it's powerful. It's been around for centuries, eons. You don't have to be spiritual or anything else. It's something you do with it. It's a brain exercise that other people say it's the magic key to living a better life. More focus, more presence, happier, and I think ultimately, if you remember this, you're plugged into a loving universe. Again, don't have to be spiritual. Science shows the same thing. Meditate, and what else? And yeah, I guess what I said earlier, recognize that you're part of God. I'm not religious, but I can say that. And so is everyone else. You don't have any real enemies in this world. And what a boring world if we all agreed. And what a boring world if everything was just handed to us. That's not a thing. That's not going to be satisfying for you. So when you look at the world and say, why does so few win and so many struggle? It's okay to struggle. It's out there for you. But you have to work for it. You have to work hard. Otherwise, it just wouldn't mean anything. I have a lot of sympathy, and my heart goes out to children of just the wealthy that never really have to work. That there's got to be an emptiness of soul. Yeah, you can fly around and jet set and party, and you're going to find as a human being that you're not satisfied, and you'll wonder why. What am I missing? Maybe you do drugs that much more out of control because you don't know what you're missing. You're missing the spiritual joy of striving for something beyond yourself, something important, world peace or equal rights or putting food and taking care of abandoned orphan babies or whatever. That's where you're going to feel alive, beyond any money that you might get in this life. So I guess that's enough for now. Hope if you come across this, it's because you're meant to. People get that too. I'm sorry. It's an intelligent universe, and boom, it's going to give it to you at the right time. And I really wish you well. The world's going to change for the better. We will shoot to the stars. Of course, that's our destiny. Anyway, wish you well. Have a good day. Bye.